Well, today is the 6th of January, it's 2023. It's a bank holiday if we were in Mallorca, but we're not in Mallorca and we're not working, so it doesn't really matter anyway. And we're in Lee-on-the-Solent. It's a little bit breezy, but the sun is so bright today, it's really shining. We've come down to the seaside, and one of the first things we see is actually some people in the water swimming. It's less than 10 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty cold. And there is a light breeze, so apologies if the sound has been affected by that, but we're just going to have a little walk along and well, enjoy the sights. We've just been to school with William. Let's dropped him off at school and thought we'd make our way down to the beach. We've stopped off already for a coffee, and we're just going to have a little walk along, and then notice these two ladies swimming away in the sea.
Seem quite happy.
Yeah, they seem quite content. They're doing a few lengths rather than me, I think. And we're going to walk along. The last time we were down here, it was to come and see our daughter Lara, who did the New Year's Day? Boxing Day swim. That was done for charity, and they just got into the water and stayed there for a few minutes, and that helped to raise some funds for the local cancer charity. The ladies we've just seen are just doing it for fun. The last few days have been very, very windy. We didn't have any rain yesterday, but it's been windy, and thankfully much of that has stopped. Just in the distance I can see one of the Isle of Wight ferries going across. We're not going to make it over to the Isle of Wight on this particular trip, but that's one of the things we do like to do. And it's quite clear today, so in the distance I can actually see Osborne House. That's where Queen Victoria used to spend quite a lot of time with Albert and the children. And we made a video when we were here in was it last summer?
It was, yeah.
And really interesting place, and especially if you've been watching any of the series that have been on the television of Queen Victoria over the past few years. So we're just coming down to beach level now. It's a pebbly beach here, so if you do plan to go into the sea, you need some sea shoes. And it looks to me as though the tide is quite high, but we don't come down often enough for me to know what the levels really are. And we're coming now towards the end of our stay in the UK. So we've had a fantastic Christmas and New Year, and it's been great to be with all of the family. But all good things come to an end, and we'll be returning very soon to Majorca, and so you'll start to see videos appearing from our island in the sun. But we're actually getting some sun today, which is quite unusual. I think we've only had 2 or 3 days when it's been really sunny like this. And if you can see in front of us, we've got long shadows. We did go to visit Stonehenge a few days ago, and we were lucky then because it was sunny and it was almost dusk. It was just the sun was just about to set, and we had very long shadows which were being cast over the stones. Really fascinating place, very interesting. Just in front, the city over in that direction, over there, is Southampton, one of the great seaports of the UK. See along here with us the benches. I've got plaques, and many of them now have got flowers on them. The plaques are in memory of people who used to spend time here along the promenade in Lee-on-the-Solent, and their families have dedicated benches to them. So, quite a nice way to remember people, I think. a plaque on a bench, go and sit with them. I had sadly a great friend in Mallorca, David Hammond, and we had a plaque, we as in the Masons, we had a plaque put on a bench in his memory.
Where's that?
It's in Calvia, in the village, just outside the music school. And another Mason has a plaque actually on the promenade. If you're in Palma Nova, you might find it. It's very close to the restaurant.
Can Blanc.
The Can Blanc, yeah. So this restaurant in front of us had various names in the past, but we actually know it as Leon's, but it's not called Leon's anymore. I think I might have mentioned this in the
water.
Previous video, and it's now called On the Water. It is actually open, but we've only just had a coffee, so I guess we're not going to have another one, are we?
If we go further down there and come back.
Could do. Certainly in the summer it's a place I will come, or we will come, and can sit outside here and have a nice cool beer. And if we've got William with us, there's a little park right next door where he can go and play. Lee-on-the-Solent is right by the sea. It's close to Portsmouth. It's close to Southampton. It's got pretty good communication with good roads and the railway, and not too far to get to Gosport. And there's a ferry there that takes you across to Portsmouth, so it's convenient, but it's never really taken off as a holiday sort of resort. I think they might have tried it in the past, but it never seemed to work, so most of the people that are around here are residents. Very few are holiday makers. But having said that, if you just look here to the right, we've got all of these beach huts or sheds. I don't know what you want to call them, but they're garden sheds put on the beach. And I was reading this morning that one just a little way along the coast, not too far along the coast, that direction I suppose, in front of us, one of these is up for sale. Guess the price, dear? How much do you think one of these could be up for sale for?
4,000.
£4,000?
Yeah.
No.
14.
No, you've got to go a lot more than 14.
Gosh. 30.
Oh no, you're absolutely nowhere near.
How much?
£400,000
For one of these?
for a beach hut,
No.
similar to this, on the sandbanks in Bournemouth. £450,000 for a shed
You can't even live
on
in
a beach. You can't live in it now. And I don't know. It's on the market for that. I don't think it's been sold for that. But that is absolutely crazy. I would want quite a nice 4-bedroom detached house for £450,000. And certainly in some parts of the UK you'd get more than a nice 4-bedroom detached house for £450,000. In fact, where we come from in Stoke-on-Trent, you probably get a whole street.
Whole town.
In fact, you'd get half of a town for that. Stoke-on-Trent is one of the cities that were selling houses for £1 a few years ago. I think Liverpool might have gone through a similar event of selling houses for £1. But £450,000 for a beach hut. I think somebody's gone crazy there. Not sure who it is who's gone crazy, but they have. So the light breeze, a little bit of sunshine. I think eventually these promenades will actually dry up. At this moment they're still very wet, partly because of the rain, partly due to condensation. But you can see there's quite a few people who come out for a walk at the same time as us. So it's only just after 9 o'clock in the morning. I suppose it's getting nearer to 10 now. And certainly I don't remember seeing so many flowers, so this is obviously a Christmas, New Year thing. Adorning the benches.
Maybe we should go round the back way home.
I think so. As we walk along here, we come to a shack coffee house, but then we can actually do a circular route to get back, and that takes us by the airfield, which is the Daedalus airfield, and that's where sometimes I manage to get some video or some photographs of Spitfire taking off, landing. Though I haven't heard it since we've been here, so it might not be doing any trips at the moment. If you can hear the seagulls, but they don't actually sound like seagull. I think that one's got a sore throat. It is actually feeling quite warm. Is it getting warm down here? Certainly not cold. Seagull doesn't sound quite right. I'm just seeing an aeroplane now taking off from the airfield. Wouldn't it be wonderful if they flew planes from Mallorca into there, just for us? They don't. They tend to be all very small planes that go from there, as well as the search and rescue helicopter, which we do see quite often on training trips. So just in front of us, another quite interesting, this is just a slipway, and this actual slipway goes up to the Hovercraft Museum, and on a previous occasion I went there with Ollie, and we had a little tour of the Hovercraft Museum. Very interesting, got all sorts of hovercrafts in there, and including the James Bond hovercraft, which Ollie was allowed to sit in and have his photograph taken there. So it was really quite cool. But big hovercrafts, little hovercrafts, all sorts of hovercrafts. So if you're a hovercraft enthusiast, and the Hovercraft Museum here in Lee-on-the-Solent is, I suppose it must be a place you have to go to. And of course in Southsea, which is just the other side of Portsmouth from us now. There is a regular hovercraft service, and I'm pretty sure it's the only one in the UK where you can actually pay to go on a hovercraft to take you across to the Isle of Wight. It's very quick, very efficient, really exciting.
Morning.
So it's again, hovercraft enthusiasts, this is the part of the world you need to come to go on a hovercraft, and then go and see lots of other hovercrafts, read about the history of hovercrafts. Walking along a promenade like this is sort of perfect for me, so there's no ups and downs. It's a nice and easy walk.
A bit like Parmanova.
Well, today with the blue skies and sunshine, sun on my back, a little bit like Parmanova. We'll be able to find out for real though next week, because I'm sure that's probably going to be one of the first places that we manage to get down to when we get back to Mallorca. Schools in Mallorca have not actually gone back yet after Christmas. They will be returning on Monday.
Is there a plane?
A plane taken off, and they'll be returning without us. And one really nice thing I had today was a message from one of my students saying that it's going to miss me in the class. I think that's a really lovely gesture, really like that. So Alonso, thank you very much. If you're watching this video, Alonso wrote to me, and thank you. I'm going to miss them. I'm going to miss them all. So I'll be thinking of you on Monday morning. And the teachers, of course.
Yeah, it kind of makes our house pointless, really.
Morning.
We have been quite lucky with the wind today. It's not actually too windy down here.
But it's nice. Maria, it's nice. And if the shack's open, maybe people have got a coffee, so maybe they have. We won't have one from here though.
Quite like the shack, I just don't like the coffee.
No, it's
I think maybe the shack's for a cup of tea rather than a cup of coffee.
morning.
Some dogs out walking. My goodness, a sausage dog. I've not seen one of them for a long time. I almost want to take my coat off, dear. Whew. And the tide, the sea does look really high today. I'm guessing it's going to be retreating very soon.
Probably just
is a bench that's been decorated. Got the tinsel out. Ken Beckett. Rest in peace. So we're just arriving at the shack, and quite a nice painting. I don't remember seeing that there before. It's quite a good picture on the side, reminiscent of the Banksy type pictures that you see around the globe now. They're appearing everywhere. This one is, I can't read the name at the bottom there.
Hendog.
Hendod.
Dog.
Hendog. Anyway, looks good, but the shack's actually closed, so we're not getting a cup of tea either. We're actually going to leave the sea behind now and head inland, but just as we do, we can see somebody else going in the water. Hardy people around here. My guess is the water in Mallorca is about 5 or 10 degrees warmer, and people will still think twice before going in. I think Anita and I probably wait till July and then only dip our toes in. So this is equivalent of the coast road, I suppose. It's just come from behind us, Lee-on-the-Solent, and heading west, actually towards Southampton. And we're going to cross the road here. And we're heading towards the airfield here. So right in front of us, all the blue fencing is the fencing that surrounds the airfield. And this was a former military base, but now it's usually used just for light aircraft. But it is one of our go-to places down here. Partly because it's easy to walk to, and partly because there's a nice little cafe called 05.
We'll call in there. And
assuming they're open, yes, we'll call in and we can have another coffee. Sometimes, particularly in the summer, of course, we'll sit outside and we can watch the aeroplanes being prepared. Sometimes manage to catch a Spitfire taking some fee-paying person on a jolly, I suppose, around the Isle of Wight. Very expensive thing to do. But
more than a beach house on the beach hut on the front.
Sandbanks? I don't think so, dear. No. I think the beach hut on sandbanks will trump it by quite a lot, actually. You can see a few light aircraft out there, only about 4 or so, and just heard one of them. Sounds as though it might have been warming its engine up, so it could be one taking off soon.
They're just privately owned.
Yeah. And really just perfect for a little trip to the Isle of Wight, if you want to go to the Isle of Wight here, and 5 minutes later you're landing in the Isle of Wight. It's a very short distance.
Yeah.
The housing estate to the right of us here is all completely new. It didn't exist when we first started walking around this area. Over the years we've seen it be developed, and this particular road didn't actually go anywhere, so it wasn't a throughway as it is now. There's one of the aircraft, small aircraft, just taxiing along to the runway. I don't have my other lens with me, my other camera with me, so I'm not going to get any close-ups today. Control tower and the offices just here on the left, and that's where our 05 cafe is. I can see some lights on, so maybe we will be able to get in there. The aeroplane that's just left has to taxi all the way to the far end of the runway.
I wondered why it hadn't gone up yet. Is that where the runway
Sped
is?
along though, it was going really quite quickly.
You're wet on there, don't you?
Yeah. I'm going to walk across the grass. I think we'll. Let's have a look to see if the cafe's open. Cafe is just for anyone, but I suppose people who work in the offices here come down to use it as well. And it opens from 10 till 4.
What time is it now?
So it must be open now. Cafe at 05. That's exactly what we'll have. Well, we've had a nice early morning walk here in Lee-on-the-Solent, and all invigorated now, so it's coffee time. Cheers everyone.
Cheers.
And thank you very much for watching our videos, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I've said that for a long time, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.